Good morning, spiritual companions. We are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, continuing chapter 1 on page 126. Ramakrishna says, "Do you understand me?" M. Humbly, "Yes, sir." "How, sir, may I fix my mind on God?" Master, repeat God's name and sing His glories, and now and then visit God's devotees and holy men. The mind cannot dwell on God if it is immersed day and night in worldliness, in worldly duties and responsibilities. It is most necessary to go into solitude now and then and think of God. To fix the mind on God is very difficult in the beginning, unless one practices meditation in solitude. When a tree is young, it should be fenced all around, otherwise it may be destroyed by cattle. There are 3 ways of meditating. Think of God while doing your duties, or meditate on Him in a secluded corner of your house, or contemplate Him in a wood. And you should always discriminate between the real and the unreal. God alone is real, the eternal substance, and all else is unreal, that is, impermanent. By discriminating thus, one should shake off impermanent objects from the mind. M. Humbly, how ought we to live in the world? Master, do all your duties, but keep your mind on God. Live with all, with wife and children, father and mother, and serve them. Treat them as if they were very dear to you. But know in your heart of hearts that they do not belong to you. A maidservant in the house of a rich man performs all the household duties, but her thoughts are fixed on her own home in her native village. She brings up her master's children as if they were her own. She even speaks of them as my Rama or my Hari, but in her own mind she knows very well that they do not belong to her at all. The tortoise moves about in the water, but can you guess where her thoughts are? They are on the bank where her eggs are lying. Do all your duties in the world, but keep your mind on God. If you enter the world without first cultivating love for God, you will be entangled more and more. You will be overwhelmed with its danger, its grief, its sorrows. The more you think of worldly things, the more you will be attached to them. First, rub your hands with oil, and then break open the jackfruit. Otherwise, they will be smeared with its sticky milk. First, secure the oil of divine love, and then set your hands to the duties of the world. But one must go into solitude to attain this divine love. To get butter from milk, you must let it set into curd in a secluded spot. If it is too much disturbed, milk won't turn into curd. Next, you must put aside all other duties, sit in a quiet spot, and churn the curd. Only then do you get butter. Further, by meditating on God in solitude, the mind acquires knowledge, dispassion, and devotion. But the very same mind goes downward if it dwells in the world. In the world, one only thinks of woman and gold. Footnote on woman and gold. The words woman and gold occur again and again in the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna to designate the chief impediments to spiritual progress. This favorite expression of the Master, Kamini Kanchan, has often been misconstrued. By it, he meant only lust and greed, the baneful influence of which retards the aspirant's spiritual growth. He used the word kamini, or woman, as a concrete term for the sex instinct when addressing his men devotees. He advised women, on the other hand, to shun man, kanchan, or gold, symbolizes greed, which is the other obstacle to spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna never taught his disciples to hate any woman or womankind in general. This can be seen by clearly going through all his teachings on this subject and judging them collectively. The Master looked on all women as so many images of the divine Mother of the universe. He paid the highest homage to womankind by accepting a woman as his guide while practicing the very profound spiritual disciplines of Tantra. His wife, known and revered as the Holy Mother, was his constant companion and first disciple. At the end of his spiritual practice, he literally worshipped her as the embodiment of the goddess Kali, the Divine Mother. After his passing away, the Holy Mother became the spiritual guide not only of a large number of householders, but also of many monastic members of the Ramakrishna order. Continuing the text. The world is water, and the mind milk. If you pour milk into water, they become one. You cannot find the pure milk anymore. But turn the milk into curd and churn it into butter. Then, when that butter is placed in water, it will float. So practice spiritual discipline in solitude and obtain the butter of knowledge and love. Even if you keep that butter in the water of the world, the two will not mix. The butter will float. Together with this, you must practice discrimination. Woman and gold are impermanent. God is the only eternal substance. What does a man get with money? Food, clothes, and a dwelling place, nothing more. You cannot realize God with its help. Therefore, money can never be the goal of life. That is the process of discrimination. Do you understand? M. Yes, sir. Master, consider, what is there in money or in a beautiful body? Discriminate, and you will find that even the body of the most beautiful woman consists of bones, flesh, fat, and other disagreeable things. Why should a man give up God and direct his attention to such things? Why should he forget God for their sake? M. Is it possible to see God? Master, certainly, yes. Living in solitude now and then, repeating God's name and singing his glories, and discriminating between the real and the unreal, these are the means to employ to see him. M. Under what conditions does one see God? Master, cry to the Lord with an intensely yearning heart, and you will certainly see him. People shed a whole jug of tears for wife and children. They swim in tears for money. But who weeps for God? Cry to him with a real cry. Longing is like the rosy dawn. After the dawn, out comes the sun. Longing is followed by the vision of God. God reveals himself to a devotee who feels drawn to him by the combined force of these three attractions. The attraction of worldly possessions for the worldly man, the child's attraction for its mother, and the husband's attraction for the chaste wife. If one feels drawn to him by the combined force of these three attractions, then one can attain him. The point is to love God even as the mother loves her child, the chaste wife her husband, and the worldly man his wealth. Join together these three forces of love, these three powers of attraction, and direct them all to God. Then you will certainly see him. It is necessary to pray to him with a longing heart. The kitten knows only how to call its mother, crying, mew, mew. It remains satisfied wherever its mother puts it. And the mother cat puts the kitten somewhere in the kitchen, sometimes on the floor, and sometimes on the bed. When it suffers, it cries only, mew, mew. That's all it knows. But as soon as the mother hears this cry, wherever she may be, she comes to the kitten.